video is about my near-death experience where I went to heaven, saw an angel, some family, and came back. This near-death experience was something that till today is like it happened yesterday to me. I remember it like in detail. Since then, God's given me many dreams and visions to reveal to me what time I was going to be doing this, which is part of it is creating these videos for certain people that God, you know, Facebook friends, people on YouTube that are going to watch this. It's for certain people that God has already prepared to watch this. And I'm not saying like everybody on Facebook, but there's no accidents. If you're on my Facebook, this video is for you, or maybe for you to share it with somebody else who God thinks is for them, you know. Well, since 1992, I've had, like I said, a lot of dreams and visions that God's revealed to me. How some of them are sporadic and deal with different topics, and others pertain to the near-death experience that I had as a spin-off from it, and I'll explain later as you'll see. God revealed to me that I'd be doing. It would be in the end days, the end minutes, the end seconds. I knew it was going to be like the time is now type situation. It was going to be at the very, very end. And I've had many dreams revealing that aspect of this, what I'm telling you. I hope you take this as a warning, not from me, but from God, because He speaks through us, and He's wanting for you to watch this. It's very important, because, like I said, there's no more time. The time is now. It's crucial. I've had some dreams and visions. I've seen Chinese and Russian troops in Texas, in Corpus Christi, Texas. I've seen Chinese troops. I've seen them in California. I mean, they're all over the United States. It's not just in one state, or something happens. It could be an EMP attack, a fake meteorite that NASA cannot produce. I don't know if you guys are familiar with HARP and all these machines that can alter the weather to make hurricanes and earthquakes. But look into it if you have not looked into it. We're in a very crucial state right now, and people are totally unaware of what's going on. A lot of people don't realize that the United States and NATO are pushing Russia into a war. If you read the news or watch it on a computer, however you do it, on the other side of the world, it's clear. The majority of the world knows NATO and the United States is pushing Putin into a war. And I'm not pro-Putin or pro-Russian. I'm for everybody to have peace. But when you see the news, MSNBC, CNN, Fox, all these news, they don't report when we push. I mean, we're at the doorstep of I mean, we're in Ukraine, we're like all over the European Union, pushing Russia, cornering him into a corner. And when you corner somebody into a corner, you know what happens. It's dire. I hope you're taking this warning seriously, because here, like, if you watch the news, like I'm telling you, it's all you hear is we push, and then the moment they counter make a move to come at us or to defend themselves, that's when you hear CNN and the newscast people here say, oh, Russia's acting aggressively, and that's all you see in the news here. But if you look at other news, Al Jazeera, Router, RT, I mean, if you look at the news on the other side of the world, and you'll see the pace, who's moving first. Why didn't they report here that we move first against, to me, the Russians and the Chinese are going to be here, and it's going to be sudden, it's going to be quick, and everybody's going to be taken by surprise. It's going to be, that First Thessalonians chapter 5, I think it's verse 3, something like that, where it says peace and safety and then sudden destruction. That's exactly what I've seen in many visions. And not just me, God's told me, He's revealed to other people that are having these dreams and visions that they've also seen Russian and Chinese troops on soil here. I mean, I've been seeing it for years in my dreams and visions, but like I said, I wasn't going to be doing this. God was kind of like, don't just tell anybody what I'm revealing to you to a certain time. It was like there's a timeline, and it was apparent that it was going to be at the end days, the end minutes. You may be thinking, this is crazy. What is this guy talking about? This can't be the end days. They've been saying that forever. And he's talking about the end minutes, in seconds, and the time is now. I mean, like the time is now. And you're gonna see who's crazy in the not too very long future here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've had a good life, successful, several businesses, the nice home, the nice cars. I share it with my family and friends. I share it. I've never used it as I'm above you, I'm better than you, I'm more intellectual than you. And a lot of people do that, and they're tied to the material things in the world. And for me to be doing this, I'm basically telling you, I'm ready to let go of the material world. I've been ready at any moment. Since 1992, I can honestly say that I was ready to go. I've been blessed with, success, okay, but it's crucial for you to understand what crazy is right now, in case you're mocking or scoffing me or anybody for that matter. If you see somebody preaching on the side of the road, Jesus is coming, and you're laughing and trying to act in front of your friend, of course he's not coming. They've been saying that for years. Weigh your words. Be weary. Weigh your words, because God's watching. Everything you say, every action you make, every step you take, He's watching. It's all recorded. It's all recorded. There's no, like, you're gonna get away with it or nothing. I've been there. My near-death I've been there. When you're getting there and you're just like, oh, there's gonna be a record. And there's nobody there. All the people you're trying to be smart around and, outdo other people. Like, oh, they must be dumb. They think it's the end of the world. How dumb is that? They're crazy. When you're in heaven, when you're up there, when you're in heaven, and you're gonna be there, scared, frantic. you're gonna think back when you see this, your reaction to this video, or anybody who's preaching or stating the end times is now. You're gonna see and think at that moment, man, I was crazy. I was crazy when I was alive back then, mocking and scoffing people about the end days. I was crazy to think it wasn't the end days, because when you're up there, you'll be able to see everything that's happening in the world as a whole, not just seeing it from a one person perspective. Weigh your words. Weigh your words. That's from me as a brother in Christ to you. People who believe in the rapture, people who believe Christ is coming, people who believe in the numerical sequences, the 333, the 111111, the 1212, people are experiencing that. That's God. That's been revealed to me many times. That's God saying, if you keep seeing matching numbers on license plates, receipts, calendars, billboards, wherever you're at, if you're seeing consecutive numbers, 333s and 444s and 555s and 1212s and 1010, if you're seeing that, that's God telling you that you're on the right path. Those are like markers as you're going. Those are markers. If you see those numbers, and maybe a lot of y'all don't, but there may be only one person out there that's listening and watching this that maybe has and does, and it's good that you're receiving this message, because God's telling you through me telling you, stay on path, stay the course, don't look back, hold on tight to what you've got, like the church of Philadelphia. Hold on tight to what you've got, because salvation and redemption is very, very close. And like I said, I would not be doing this video if it was not the end days, the end minutes. I've had dreams and visions of the rapture. It was more like a vision. I was like in a box. I'll understand that later. It hasn't been revealed to me yet. And my sister in Christ was also in a box. We were close to each other, and I came out like a missile, like just came out into the air. Then I realized that I was in the rapture, and I was kind of like, how do I? It was like I was inside like some kind of like airplane or something. It had controls, and we're in the air. And I realized, hey, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. I was kind of concerned, like, wow. Then I realized I know how to do this, and I was moving around in the air in my rapture. But before, it was like, I don't know why God did this, but He sent me over the Los Angeles Dodger Stadium to show me. I don't know why, but we were going over the Dodger Stadium, and there was a game happening, and people were running around in the stadium. I could see, I was like in the air. I was watching, looking down, me and my sister in Christ, and we saw people running around like crazy, trying to get out of the stadium, frantic, like afraid of us, like we were the bad guys or something, you know. In the end days, the good guys are gonna look like the bad guys, and the bad guys are gonna look like the good guys. Like the United Nations, they're gonna look like the good guys. People are gonna fall for it. Never mind all the killings they've done in Yemen and other countries around the world. Northern Africa, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, Syria, and now they want to hit Iran. That's gonna be part of the end days. That's going to happen very soon. Iran's going to be in the mix very soon because of Israel. Just wait and see. It's all been revealed to me. I hope you're taking this warning very seriously, because the time is now. Get prepared. And for those of you that have been good and understand Jesus is coming, that's good. Redemption is near. Back to my near-death experience. Like I said, it was in 1992. I was staying with a family member, and it was so traumatic. It's like it happened yesterday to me. It was life-altering. I changed my life. Since then, my life changed. Of course, I've done mistakes. Everybody's human. I've made my mistakes in the past, since then till now. But in general, trust me, I genuinely try to do unto others as I would like for them to do unto me. And that's like very important, and you'll see when I reveal what happened to me in heaven. I was staying with a family member. It was a normal night. Normal, like any other night. And this is how I feel the rapture is going to be. It's just going to all of a sudden happen. This is going to be ordinary day, and boom, people are gone. Well, it was a normal night. Went to bed. Fell asleep. And before you think, well, maybe this was a dream or a vision, like I've stated, I've had many dreams and visions. I know even the differences between the dreams. You know, nonchalant dreams, regular dreams, and vivid dreams. Visions, that snap visions. I know the difference. Like I said, I fell asleep, and my death was smooth. It was smooth death. It was a very smooth death. I died like old people. You know, they go to sleep and they just don't wake up in the morning. That kind of death. You know, your heart stops. Well, I'm laying there, and you know how when somebody turns on the light and you're asleep, and you can see the light going through your eyelids, and then you just like, oh, somebody turned on the lights. Well, that was a sensation that I felt when this was starting out. I opened my eyes, and I started noticing there was light in the room, and that it was coming through. On my right, I had a window on my right, and a window in front of me. And I noticed this light was coming through the window. And given, I'm on the second floor. When this is happening, I'm on the second floor. So I'm seeing this light coming in from the window, like bright, very bright, strong light. And I just thought, there's a helicopter outside, and it's flying really low. And as I was like getting up like this, I got up on my elbows. You know, when you I got up on my elbows to see what's up, what's going on, and I was like, what the? And this light starts moving. And it comes out in front of me, and it's at the window, like in front of me. And on the other side, there's of course the wall, and there's like a tree, and then there's like some wires and telephone poles, And I just thought, man, this helicopter's gonna hit the telephone pole, the tree, the wires. Like, oh my God, it's gonna. And as I was thinking that, the room got more white, more bright, and I felt myself like getting up. But my getting up was, you know, when you get up, your lower body's still in the bed. But this getting up was like my whole body was getting up, like I was levitating 2 or 3 feet, and I was going up. As I was going up, starting to levitate, I was trying to look back, and for some reason they wouldn't allow me to look back. I don't know why, but that happened. And as I was going up, I started to like stand up, and I noticed like this energy, I don't know, I wish it's the same energy that I've felt before, like in my rapture dreams. And it was kind of like when you're in a sauna, in a spa where the water's up, you feel like or 2 magnets, like when you put 2 magnets, it creates like I felt kind of like a energy. And I just remember that it picked me up, and I was like going toward the wall, and I was like, I knew the wall was there, but it just was so bright that I couldn't really see it, but I knew it was there, and I just went right through the wall into the outside. Like I'm telling you, I'm on the 2nd floor, and I'm like going through a tree, and there's a lot of stuff outside, telephone poles. And I'm going into this tunnel. I can see that there's this tunnel. And the next thing I know, it's like, I don't remember even like the jolt of, next thing I know, I just see the white turn into like this transparency. And it was like transparent. I went into this transparency tunnel, like, but it was white first, and it turned into, and I'm passing all these stars and galaxies like really fast, like, you know, the best way to explain it, like the movies, the Star Trek movies, warp speed. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm still not realizing that I'm dead. I still haven't come to that conclusion yet. And this whole warp speed thing, it seemed like it was very fast. I didn't feel like it was, could have taken seconds. It just seemed very fast. By the time I got to heaven, and as I was getting there, they started to slow down. I could see like there was like a runway, like the best way to describe like an airport runway, and I'm getting there slowly, and I come in, and I'm thinking, what? I'm dead. I'm dead. And I was like, how did I die? Like, I couldn't believe it. I was dead. And I'm getting there, and it was the most frantic, scary. I mean, I was scared. I was, can't even explain to you how frantic I was. I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell. Oh my God, I'm going to hell, because I had been bad. I was married at the time. This is one of the reasons why I was was staying with family. I was being unfaithful to my wife. And I just thought, oh my God, I've been bad. I've been bad to my wife at the time. And I was like, man, what am I going to say? How much forgiveness can I ask for? Because it wasn't going to really matter. Because I knew, like, there's got to be a record of everything that I did. I knew. Everything over there's like telepathical. Like, they're telling you stuff and you're like, you know, hearing things, talking without even moving your mouth. And I'm frantic. I'm like, and as I'm getting there, I can hear some giggling, some laughing, and it's some family members. I knew they were family members. I couldn't make out their faces and who they were, but I knew they were family members. And they were alongside, on each side of this big angel, huge angel, about, I want to say, if I could see him completely, like 10 foot, maybe. But I could only see half of him. He was like, from the waist up, like from right here up, I could see his head, and it was like a light bulb. You know, when you see a light bulb, like it's just. And as I'm getting closer, he knows how I'm feeling, and he's like, you know, like trying to calm me down. Everything's okay, calm down. And I'm like, no, like, oh no, I'm going to hell. I was really scared, man. I was scared. And as I get there, he's telling me, like, not to be scared, and I just thought, like, he knew what I was thinking, what I was doing wrong in the world concerning my wife at the time. And he was like, no, like, you're doing good, so I knew, like, I couldn't be judged completely just by that, you know, what I was doing, just with that one situation. And he made it clear to me, like, in general, since I was young, like, you're doing good, like, you're where we want you to be, you're like, you passed the test. So all my good actions outweighed that one action that made me feel like, man, there's no way, like, I'm gonna be in heaven, I'm going to hell. Because that's what we're brought up to think, you know. And I'm not saying it's okay to be unfaithful, I'm not saying that, but I felt that God was giving me the chance. And my family members were giggling because they knew already that I was going to go back. But I didn't know this at this moment. So he tells me later. He says, don't worry. This is not your time. You're going to go back. And I just like, what? I wanted to stay there. I knew, you know, like he had said, I had passed the test, but he was like, no, you're going back. There's something you must do. And I thought, there's something I must do. Like it was something that I kind of felt like, what is it I gotta do, you know? And he told me, don't worry, you'll know when the time comes. And I was like, I think you got the wrong guy. Like, are you serious? Like, you know, I kind of felt insecure, inadequate, that I wouldn't pull through on what it was that I was supposed to do. Because I kind of knew, like, if I'm going back, what I'm supposed to do must be important for God. So, which it is. You listening to this is God is working through me for for you to get his message. It's his message. And I kind of was scared, you know, like I'm saying, I was like, what if I can't pull through? He's telling me not to worry, I'm gonna go back. And I kind of was like, man, if I pass the test, like I want to stay here. Like, I didn't want to go back, but he was clear, like what I was gonna do is important. If they're asking me, you know, to go back, to go do this, and a part of it is what I'm doing right now, this video, and other videos I'm gonna produce for certain people that are on Facebook and that are gonna be on YouTube. I noticed this angel had a halo, and the halo was thin. It was like, you know, hair, very, you know, like as thin as hair, very, very thin. And as I was looking at it, it went up like 2-3 feet above him to the side, and I noticed it, like it opened up, formed like a straight line. It just, and there was a bunch of little stars. They looked like grains of salt, each one. There was a bunch of them, and there was, he made it clear to me, 144,000 little stars. And as they spread apart, one of them came out, and he told me, don't worry, we sent one of our strongest. And the star goes up, like I'm telling you, it goes and it turns into like another light bulb, but smaller. Like, it was my wife at the time. It was like from waist up, I could see her from waist up. She looked as beautiful as she was. Curly hair, nice smile, and she's like looking at me, smiling, and she's like waving at me like, hey. And I just thought, wait, what? Like, we don't even go to church. Like, I don't understand. And I was kind of shocked, to be honest, and he was trying to explain to me that the 144,000 would end up meeting somehow, some way in our journeys, and I may be meeting one of you 144,000 right now to this video. Anyway, she goes back into this little star form, and the halo, you know, comes back together the way it was, and it came back on top of the angel, and he starts explaining to me, it's not if you went to church or not. It's all based on your actions, your deeds, how you interacted with others in the world, how much love you have for your brothers and sisters in Christ. Love is like the main test, some people go as far as loving their kids only. You know how Jesus said, love, what good is it to love just the ones that love you? I mean, love your enemy. That's, if you can do that, that's, you know, here on earth, in the world, it just seems like that makes no sense, but it makes perfect sense when you're up there, like, because everybody over there gets along type thing. It's not, there's no ego, there's no individual. You can tell it's very different. We don't have our body form, you know, to go by, you know, the ego. I'm better looking than you, she's better looking than me, I got more money than you, keeping up with the Jones. And if we weren't in physical bodies, none of that would even matter. How much money you made, what kind of house you had, what kind of cars you drove, it won't matter. All that's gonna matter is how much love you had for your brothers and sisters in Christ. That's what's gonna matter. Well, nonetheless, he was telling me, you're gonna go back. And I was kind of, like I said, I didn't want to. I was kind of like, everything that was there was, like, I love art and graphic design. It was like endless amount of art and graphic design that I'd want to do. All the technology you can think of times 1,000. I mean, everything was there. It like made no sense to come back to me at the moment. But not, it's kind of selfish because my son was 1 year old, and I realized that at the moment, like, oh, my son. And he was telling me, like, there's something you must do. And I was like, what is it I'm supposed to do? And I'm real persistent. So I was like, what is it I must do? And he was again like, you'll know when the time comes. What is it that I must do? You'll know when the time comes. And he's revealed to me since then, it's a gradual what I was going to do. You know, it couldn't be revealed to me there. It was like something that I had to be like, I had to receive it like through code, through different dreams and visions that I've had since 1992 to get to this point where I'm at right now, making this video. I started to come back, and you know, they don't want to allow me to look back. I started moving back. I remember as I was moving back, it was like the same thing, but just as I was getting close to getting back into my body, it was like it just felt like real quick, you know, like 1 foot away from where I was, like feeling like I was levitated above my body, like 1 or 2, 3 feet. It just felt like, and I was back in my body. And I just, when that happened, it was like somebody was holding my breath for like 10 minutes, you know, where you're just like that kind of feeling, and I just thought like somebody was holding, but there was nobody on me. Nobody was holding my breath, and I knew, like, by the way I felt, like I had been not breathing, and that my heart had probably stopped, you know, for that time being. And it was very traumatic, very life-changing. I didn't sleep. In the morning, I was eating breakfast with my family member, and I told her, I'm gonna be a priest. And she was like, she just started laughing. She was like, started laughing. And I was like, no, something happened last night. And I told her, no, I'm gonna be a priest. And she just was like, are you joking? And I was like, no, I'm gonna be a priest. Nonetheless, immediately after that, I started looking into, you know, theology classes, getting set up to go to school for that. Changed I had already been going to school for graphic design for like 3 years. Well, shortly after that, God revealed to me through some dreams that my path, my journey was not going to be being a priest, and that it was going to be using my graphic design skills and my God-given talent for the arts and my career that I would be doing, that I'd be using my graphic design for His will. And sure enough, I've worked for many companies, publishing companies, big companies, international books, writers, different religions. I mean, I've done a lot of work for big companies, LA Times. And that was where my journey was going to go through. Publishing and learning more about other religions, since I did a lot of books and I would read them concerning other religions. I hope you find it in you to find Christ in you, not to be bringing people down that are trying to keep their faith in that Jesus is coming. That the two witnesses that I'm going to reveal in another video, they're here right now. I know who they are, and I've known since 2005. I know who they are. I know who they are, with no doubt. The rapture's gonna happen. People aren't expecting that. They think, nah, it's not gonna happen. Some people don't even know what the rapture is. It's a taking away of God's church into the heavens, into the sky. We'll be watching down here like a satellite. And a lot of people don't believe the rapture. It's gonna happen. But it's gonna happen. And it's gonna happen very soon. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's gonna happen very soon. The term, nobody knows the day or the hour. And like I mentioned, I've met a lot of people, reverends, pastors, priests, and even stating that, like kind of saying, don't worry about it for right now. Well, God doesn't want for you not to be worried about it. He wouldn't have given the prophecy as a warning to let you know about the season if He didn't want for you to be worried. Like I said, nobody knows the day or the hour. To me, why is it the Jews, you know, if you look at Numbers 29, the Feast of Trumpets, the Rosh Hashanah, well, that feast is known as nobody knows the day or the hour, because that feast is basically evolves around the first new moon of the beginning of September. In other parts of the world, in Israel, they believe the Messiah is coming back on the Feast of Trumpets. He's coming back to fulfill the last 3 feasts. For them, it's like a hint. It's like God's saying, my son's coming back on the Feast of Trumpets. The Feast of Trumpets is also known as the New Year's Day. Well, why is it that here in the West, when we use our intellect, it becomes a form to disregard what God is saying? If God is saying, my son's returning on the Feast of Trumpets, He's saying He's coming on a certain day, on a certain feast. You just don't know the year or the season. You have to figure out the season. But if you look into it and heed His warning, His prophecies, you'll see when the season is. So that to me is very interesting. To me, seeing it as a big picture and not seeing it from this perspective on the West, from the West perspective, the West is more focused on the New Testament. Well, it's clear to me that God is saying, my son's going to return and He's going to rebuild and do what He's got to do on the Feast of Trumpets, on New Year's Day, on the old calendar, not the new. So I would be weary and be concerned when September comes around. I hope that you guys, my brothers and sisters in Christ, find it in yourselves to find the Christ within you, ask for forgiveness, repent, because the time is near. Blessings to all of you, wherever you are, and I hope to see you on my next video. I'm going to be doing a series of videos, like I stated, pertaining to dreams and visions that God has revealed to me since 1992 that pertain to the end days, like I said, the end minutes. And it's more about the rapture, the two prophets, people seeing consecutive numbers, 333. And I hope to see you. If you like the videos, like them, please. If you feel somebody else in your family or friends should be seeing these videos, share them. Feel free to share them at however you want. God bless, and I wish you all the best. Till next time.